Thanks for coming back. I've been off for a couple of days. I have a birthday coming up very shortly, and somehow I've gotten distracted. However, it's time to go again, and things are, of course, going faster, in my opinion. Um, in the United States, the President Trump has been going through a lot of criticism. Obviously, he's been calling out the fake news, and we also have fake news here in Canada, where I'm living. And probably around the world, fake news has become almost rampant. And the reason is, in my opinion, is that the media is paid very handsomely to influence public opinion over our elected leaders. So, in what's happening right now with Mr. Trump, President Trump, I should call him, is that he's baiting them, he's playing them by exaggeration and changing his past. And the fake news people will go for it, and they'll throw up their hands like, how can we trust him? CNN has been caught faking the news. They're not the only ones. So has Fox. And now they have the gall to say, well, he's making it up. Well, of course he is, because he doesn't trust you. It is fake. Let me get back to Canada. I have a letter on my desk from... I tried to find out, because there's a contractor. In Canada, we don't govern people anymore. We have contractors that do it. And contractors are paid bonuses by the government of Canada for screwing the people out of justice, screwing them out of their entitlement. That's a fact. So this woman has written me back. It's funny how many times I complain to the government departments. I always get a woman that writes to me. Men don't write to me. Women do. But that's because the Prime Minister of Canada only appoints women. He doesn't want to appoint any men. And in my opinion, he does that because he can get a woman to do what he tells them to do. And some men will stand up to him and say, that's not right. That's not the law. Anyway, he doesn't like that. So, here we go. Woman wrote me a letter. I wanted to know, because of a tribunal hearing, they have never allowed me to use medical evidence. I have always been barred from it. Charter of Rights and Freedoms says they can't do it, but in Canada, even though we have a Charter of Rights and Freedoms, the Prime Minister of Canada at that time, Pierre Trudeau, gave those rights to judges. He didn't give them to the people. In the United States, their Constitution, the rights of Americans belong to Americans. The people have them. In Canada, the people do not have them. Mr. Trudeau took them all away. And he wrote a constitution for us in 1981. He said it was the most perfect constitution ever written, and it will last 1,000 years. America's constitution is the most perfect one ever written, and it's still around 200 years later. So what happened here? How did we end up with a country to the north of America that does not have freedom for the people, where we cannot find justice? This woman who wrote to me from the, used to be called Human Resources Development. In Canada, every time we get a new Prime Minister, he changes all the names of the departments. I don't know what it's called now. It's called something else. Anyway, this woman said to me that she cannot give me the information that I want. I want to know how much bonuses these women, there were women from the tribunal, there's never been a man yet, get paid. What is their bonuses in their paycheck? They call them performance bonuses, the government does. And these are contractors to the Crown. They're not government people. They're at arm's length, which Government of Canada likes to do. Well, we're not going to do it. We're going to give it to the contractor over here, and that contractor does whatever they want to do. And if you want to appeal it, I have to go now to a group called the Privy Council. Now, who might they be, do you suppose? They have all been handpicked by the Prime Minister of Canada. None of them have ever been elected. And if they decide they're not answering you, they're not answering you. And you have no right to appeal, even if you went to the courts of Canada. And all of the courts of Canada have been told by the government what to do. They are not free people. They do not get to interpret law, and they cannot make an order in Canada. No judge anywhere can order the Government of Canada to do anything. But all judges in Canada can order us, the people. And they have this terrible weapon called the police. And they will make sure that you do it. So that's my complaint, as always. Apparently, I keep doing this over and over, but I want to show the contrast between Canada and America. Canada is a dictatorship. America has gone back to democracy. It almost didn't. If you look at Hillary Clinton, who was supposed to win the last election, she's a mad woman. You see her shake her head and, she scared everyone. I think she's mentally unstable, in fact. And I have just been reading, and in the United States, there's two people in the Democratic Party who are going to decide who's going to be the leader. Two people want the job. Bernie Sanders, who for some reason flipped out with Hillary. He walked away or whatever he did. We didn't hear from him again, even though he had a lot of the youth vote. And when he went out of the race, people turned their backs on him. Like, why did you do this, Bernie? Why did you lead us on like you're going to do something, and then all of a sudden you turn chicken? And the other person is a woman, and she's claiming to be a First Nations woman. So it could be in the United States, you could have a president that is not just a woman, but also a First Nations person, which would be the first time ever. So it's a very interesting scenario that we're all looking at here. I would say since now in Canada, 2019, we're supposed to have a federal election, but the Prime Minister has the right to extend it for 1 year. So rather than a 4-year term, Justin Trudeau is the Prime Minister of Canada. His father did it more than once because the electoral system looked like he was going to lose. So rather than lose it, you extend yourself for 1 year and throw some pennies to the people, and hopefully they'll vote for you next time. But if you went when you're supposed to go, you'll probably lose it. That's how it works in Canada. In the United States, they're bound by it. In Canada, I don't know. The more I find out about the government of Canada and how we're governed, I don't know if there's any rules at all. I've been in the courtrooms many times. I've never been permitted to speak. In Canada, self-represented, the judge can just say that you're not speaking, which has happened to me many times. Even though you're innocent to the allegations made against you by the government in Canada calls itself the Crown all the time, because literally speaking, the Crown is the head of the government of Canada. And the government of Canada doesn't like to call itself the government. They want to call themselves the Crown. This is meant to scare you. Me. So, I know it's going to be a short one, except that we have to be vigilant here, and I'm not going to stop talking. I'm practically destitute as far as finances are concerned. The government of Canada is very happy to destroy me. And they've all, by the way, they've all been women. And they threaten me now, go to the Privy Council. If you want that information, I've got to go to the Privy Council. There is no known method to do so. Not that I have seen. It's not like a form you can fill out. There is no such thing. You just go there, you write your complaint out, and they'll say, who the hell is this asshole? Don't you know these contractors are doing a job for Canada? They're saving us money. Here's a good thing for you. Justin Trudeau spent $4.5 billion on a pipeline. He bought it. Government of Canada. He just decided he's buying it. It was worth $500 million. He paid $4.5 billion. And now it can't be expanded. It can't get. He's an oil man, by the way. Justin Trudeau is a big investor in oil companies. So he has a vested interest in oil. And not only that, we had 29 women here, RCMP women, who all suffered from the abuses, sexual harassment, and God knows what all. And when he became Prime Minister, he didn't do anything for them. But now he's just recently given them $100 million. All 29 are no longer police officers. They have entered retirement. He loves women. Justin Trudeau loves women. Unbelievable here in Canada. Unbelievable. If you ever heard him, and if you criticize him for any reason, he will yell at you that you are a racist just to get rid of you, because that's how we do it in Canada. Even in the newspaper just recently, they said the government of Canada always relies on the word racist to get rid of criticism. That's not government, and that's not democracy. It's, I think actually, it's narcissist, because narcissists never admit guilt and never apologize. Justin Trudeau punched out a woman in Parliament with his elbow, put her right on the floor. He grabs a woman in a folk festival. He got her by the ass. He's a groper. He's never apologized for either event. And in Quebec just recently, a woman wanted him to pay that province $140 million because of all the immigrants he's brought in. They're all rushing across the borders, not just in Quebec, but in Ontario. He refuses to pay. He wants the provinces to pay. That is not right for the leader of the country who has made this decision. So a woman criticized him. He called her a racist. So she made her way right up to him, and he almost spit on her. It was vicious. If you watch him attack a woman, it's vicious. He has refused to apologize for his behavior, as he always does, as narcissists do not apologize. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get off now because I have to get this out. It's 3:35 a.m. December the 4th. September the 4th, excuse me. Well, the months are moving on. I hope everyone's doing well. Truly do. Try to have some fun. That's what I'm trying to do. Bye now.